Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Hydra, and this is Rust Console Edition. This episode is all about large group base power management, how to best bring the power in, and how to best utilize that power to send it back out, store it, all that fun stuff. On a large group base like this, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have, for a 4 battery system that we're going to have, is you're going to want to have 4 wind turbines and you're going to want to have 20 solar panels. That's going to be more than enough power to supply your whole system, and you'll be nice and happy. And then what else we're going to do is we're going to show you how to turn a system like this, and we're going to hide it just like this. And then this also leaves us access to our switches and everything else like that. And we're going to put them in loot rooms because the loot rooms are less likely to be blown up, especially if they go through door path. So your systems are going to have the best chance to survive. And I'm also going to explain how these systems kind of work here in a second, so you guys have a better understanding of exactly how this is all going down and working. And why you want to implement this system into your base to begin with. So the main reason why you want to use these systems, first of all, is because the batteries only receive 80% of the power that you give it. So if you're using 100 power, so let's say you're running 9 turrets and a bunch of switches to, turn those turrets on and off, right? So let's say you're doing that. Then if you put 100 power back into that battery is actually only taking 80 power. So you're actually going to be losing power over time. So you need to instead throw an extra 20 power or 20% worth of power back into the battery. And in this case, for 100 battery, it's 125. But even then, you're not okay because that's going to protect you during the day when you're bringing in all of that power. And this is counting if we're only on solar. But at night, you're not bringing that power in. So now you're going to be draining the battery. So you need to account for nighttime drainage as well. So without boring you guys with all of the with all of the numbers, it comes out to 167 power, or 170 power, because I like round numbers. So it's 170 power in order to run your whole system at max capacity and make up for what you need over the course of the night if you're only running on solar. So that's also why you want to mix your things. You want to have both wind and solar. So when there's no wind, you're more than likely going to have solar. When there's no solar, you're more than likely going to have wind. So by doing that, your batteries basically just become backups. So your systems are going to continuously run off of the power that's coming in instead of going directly to the battery. And then the leftover power from whatever you set your branch to, that's going to then fill the battery. So without boring you guys again with the math, we need about 47 power to cover what we need to cover the night. So even though we don't technically need that because we have the wind turbines, I like to build that into my system. So really we need 150. So we're saving ourselves 20 power by hooking up this system, and we're also making it so our batteries are only backup systems. So technically, all of our batteries could get destroyed, and so long as we have our wind turbines and our solar panels going, then we're going to continue to have power. So you can really put these anywhere in your base. And even if they get blown up, it doesn't matter. But I like to put them beside my loot rooms, so it's also an extra thing that people have to blow up in order to get into here. So how do we set it up? So from our power, our main power source is going to be our black line. So we follow our black line in, and what we're going to need is 3 electrical branches and a blocker. and we're going to try and center them in this square right here, because we need them to be low enough that they hide behind the box. And we want them on a separate wall from where the battery is, because again, if the battery goes and these are still here, then we're okay. These are more important than the battery, so they go in the core. So from our battery in, we're going to go into our first electrical branch. We're going to branch out into our second electrical branch. We're going to branch out again into our third electrical branch. And then we're going to branch out for another time up into our OR switch. Now, what we're going to do is with this one is we're actually going to run it through the wall like this up into the OR switch. So then that way you don't see the wires going up in between. Now, next, what we're going to do is we're going to run a blue line. So our blue line is our battery line or our blue blocker line. And that's going to go into our input B for blue. And again, we're going to run that through the wall into our blocker. Again, this is for a group base. If you have a solo base and you're only using one battery, I have a different setup for you guys, but this is for a group base. Yeah. Now we're going to take a yellow line and we're going to go from our power out into our blocker. And that's most of our setup, or all that we can set up until we get our battery in, for now at least. And then we're going to take our green line and we're going to go from our power out from our switch and from into our OR switch into our actual switch. And then with that turned on, we have 97 power. So we get 97 power after everything said and done to play with after the system, and we have full control of the system or whatever is after it. So this is more than enough to run 9 turrets, no problem. So you set up 9 turrets, and then you have yourself a switch that you can press whenever you want. So if you have to, refill the ammo, whatever. Now we need a battery. So once all that's set up, we need our battery. We're going to center it with the floor there. And then it's going to fit in a small little space, and we want to push it back as far as we can. Now we're going to take our black line, our blue line, and we're going to go from our power out on the second little blocker here, connect it to the wall in the corner, and then we're going to go right into the power. And then our power out, we're going to connect to the same point, and then we're going to connect that into our blue blocker. And that's the whole power setup. That's it. These 6 pieces and the battery. Right, the blue things run from the battery and the B things. The black line is your main power, and that's running up into here as well. That runs into this switch, as you can see there. Right, and that's your whole power management system. And then whatever you decide to run off of that is completely up to you. I will have another video coming out here very soon on all of my secondary systems, how much power they cost. Just throw them up on the wall, and you'll be able to run them. And I have a power wall set up that I like to do, where I set it up on a wall because they're all secondary systems. They don't matter as much. But definitely when it comes to this, these 2 switches right here, which are the first switches on your branch, these ones are the most important because these runs your turrets. So you want to make sure they're on the first 2 branches. And then lastly, in order to hide everything, we're going to find a vertical metal embrasure and a strengthened glass window. And we want the embrasure to be on the inside. And what that's doing is it's covering up the switch. However, if you come back here or if you take the embrasure off, you'll be able to get at the switch. However, you don't want to take this embrasure off because once you put this floor on, you won't be able to put it back in again. You'll only be able to put this glass floor back in. Now, in order to build this, we need to just build our standard, just a standard loot room. Right, so we'll grab 2 boxes and a medium box. And now I find the easiest way to place these, so you can place them right every single time, is you line this box up with this stone shelf. Then you back up, get it right into that wall. Then you slowly creep left till it moves. Then you push it into that wall, and there you go. You're all set. Now you're going to take a small box. You're going to line it up the best you can with the tile in front of you. And then you're going to back yourself up against the wall, push it forward. And now this box should fit in here nice and snug, just like that. Now we're going to do the same thing here on the bottom. Come in here. We're going to try and line this box up the best we can with the lines on our floor so we know it's straight. And then inch our way into the wall. And you can also grab 2 more small boxes because access down here isn't as important. And I like to turn them so then that way you get maximum people can hide in here in a group base, right? So if somebody needs to get out of the way, they can come in here. And then it also gives you better access for more people to reach all of these boxes. So that's how you hide all of your wiring. So you have 4 batteries, tons of power, and then you have all of your switches that are accessible. You just have to pick up these boxes. So whatever ones run your turrets, just make sure that those boxes are more like decoys and they're always kind of empty, or they're drop boxes, right? So if you don't have it real deep into your base, chances are that they're not going to break into it. So it's all about hiding it and putting it wherever you think it can fit. So yeah, that's how you hide and wire a medium group base. Hope you guys liked it, enjoyed, and yeah, see you guys in the next one.